It seems innocent at the time, a simple comment or post on social media or a picture you post.
But in today's culture, just a simple social media post from years ago can prevent you from getting a job. Is that fair?
Tonight, Denver 7's Russell Haythorne goes 360 on the rise of what's being referred to as cancel culture.
You may have never heard the term cancel culture.
It's somewhat of a boycott of a person.
But you certainly know some of the faces who have been canceled.
I think social media does play a big part in it.
Let's start with some context.
Usually it's a public figure or a celebrity who has done something that other people find objectionable.
It can also be someone just like you and me.
Putting something out there that can probably offend somebody.
So I often caution people, especially young people, students, about what they place on social media because that is their professional image and picture forever.
Cancel culture is a form of boycott or public shaming of a person who has shared a questionable or unpopular opinion, or in more serious cases, someone whose behavior in their past is not only offensive, but unethical, illegal, and wrong. Like R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, who's currently on trial, and Bill Cosby.
And he's in prison and appropriately has been held accountable. We absolutely should hold people accountable for bad behavior.
That really ruined their image for me.
I have canceled on people. I've spoken out a lot about R. Kelly.
Those cases, and others like them, even gave rise to the Me Too movement.
Women who are not listened to, who were not validated in their concerns, getting together and finding a way to hold their abusers accountable.
Truth be told, it's deeply connected to social justice. Powerless people finally being heard and taking that power back.
Cancel culture can also be found closer to home.
People, including our employers, including our friends and family, are going to hold us accountable for what we post on social media.
Amari Dantzler has canceled people.
Friends, yes.
So has Jazz Moore.
Some of my friends or I don't hang out with as much.
Rude would be like to post ignorant things about other people.
I try to talk to them and explain why their behavior isn't cool before I just cancel them.
After a while, when it kicks in, they get all huggy-buggy.
And while that may be justified, there's also a cautionary tale there. While cancel culture started out as justice, it can involve people being too quick to judge, even considered bullying, extreme mobs with vicious online attacks without context or the full story. Even former President Barack Obama has warned of this.
That's not activism. That's not bringing about change. You know, if all you're doing is casting stones, you're probably not going to get that far.
There are more benign cases of cancel culture as well.
So he was stretching the truth a little bit.
Like Brian Williams at NBC, demoted for embellishing on past experiences in wartime reporting and elsewhere.
It came to the point where he was considered damaged goods.
Stripped of his main anchor role at NBC and demoted to MSNBC. Not canceled entirely, but muted significantly.
It can make or break careers.
Like what happened to NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who refused to stand for the national anthem.
He was protesting something in a way that he understood to be respectful. The fact that he's one of the top players today in football and cannot have work, I mean, that is cancellation.
And that's where experts say, be careful.
If you post anything, it's a record, right? It's a public record.
It's really hard to forgive and forget.
Because even though America loves a comeback, in this digital age, your past can come back to haunt you.
Sometimes partying and everything, all like that, it doesn't need to be online.
Anybody can look up your name, and people do. Employers do that.
Do we even have private lives anymore? Increasingly, the answer to that is no.
Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
All right, so what do you think? We want to hear from you. Email us 360@thedenverchannel.com, or you can always write a comment on the Denver 7 Facebook or Twitter page.